Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Barbershop Talks. Today on the chair we have Shelley, Jo-ell and myself, Certified Barber, and let's get straight into this.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Give us background on everything before everything started. Yes.
So I'm from Basingstoke, and all I've ever done really is judo. So school, when I was in primary school, I did judo in schools, and then, just grew up in school, had a really good life, but a lot of it was training when I was at school. So all I have really done is judo. Sounds really sad, but...
No, don't.
So is that after school clubs and stuff like that? Just going straight judo?
It was an after school club that my brother went to first, and then my dad was like, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, I might as well. And then took me to Saturdays as well. There was a judo club around the corner, which was still in a primary school, which is still a big thing now. There is schools judo about, kids can still do it. And I just really enjoyed it. And my dad just took me to club to club to club. And after school, I'd get home, have dinner. My dad would drive me 30 minutes to a judo club. And then I'd finish at 9, get back for 9:30. He would go for work at 4. And then we'd do it again the next day. No way. So he was really committed to me and took me to my sessions. I wouldn't be able to be where I am without my parents dropping me to training. And then at weekends, I'd have mini competitions, to try and get belts. There's loads of different belts you can get. And a lot of money into it. My dad paid for all the sessions, gradings you have to pay for, competitions you have to pay for. Sometimes would stay in a hotel somewhere. So I just took me to competitions as well. And my friends sometimes would come along and be in the crowd. And then halfway through we'd be on our DSs, playing games. And,
yeah.
I was just so young, but judo has just been my life, really.
I bet that was a well good feeling, when you was away and then you could look over and see your mates there.
Yeah,
I bet that was wicked.
Yeah, my friend used to love it. Now we just talk about it. Do you remember when I used to come to your judo competitions?
That's well nice.
Yeah. Even before that, I can't even tell you. All I've done really is judo.
Yeah, that's all you've ever known.
Yeah, kinda.
How long did it take you to get to a high level, and what was involved? Would you say?
So when I was in college, I think you're 16 then, or are you 15, 16?
15, 16, yeah. So
I was that age, and there's a full-time centre near me called Camberley Judo Club, and that was the next progression from my judo club Osaka, which was in Aldershot, which was 30 minutes away. So for me, it was just progressing to the next level, and we do randori sessions. So BJJ and everyone else, they do sparring, boxing, sparring sessions. For us, it's randori. So it's all Japanese terms. And for Tuesdays and Thursday nights, my dad would take me to Camberley Judo Club to do randori of them. And there'll be full-time athletes there, Commonwealth medalists, Olympic medalists. And when I was at college, I then decided to go there part-time and start training full-time. Well, part-time there, sorry. So I would do S&C sessions, randori sessions. So that's how I basically started to train. I wasn't a full-time athlete, I was more part-time because I was still doing a college course. I was doing air hostess, travel and tourism. I really wanted to be an air hostess.
Yeah.
I did judo on the side.
Judo on the side. And I got that. I don't even know what it was, a level 2 or something. And then I was you know what, I'm going to keep doing judo. But when I was at school, now I'm going a bit back, because when I was at school, I would still go away I was on the England squad. So you just kind of get asked. My dad would take me up to Birmingham to do the national weekends there. Yeah. He kind of he didn't force me in, but he gave me the opportunity for what I got now. And they got on the England squad. They would take me away. So I was traveling when I was 16, 15. I would go to Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, and they were all cups. So in judo, it's cadets. Well, it's pre-cadets, cadets, juniors, and senior, what I am now. And I was traveling from I didn't realize how good it was back then, but I would go away with a squad. I got England squad, and then I progressed to GB. So I have been doing judo for Great Britain for 10 years now. which is crazy. But back then I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
So when I left school in 2015, I went to the Youth Olympics, which you had to like, all them little mini European Cups that I did qualified me for the Youth Olympics. And that was just like crazy. Like I got driven to like a hotel in London, got given like Team GB kit, and like, it was just crazy. Like now looking back on it, I just didn't realise how special it was.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I wouldn't have taken it for granted, but I'm very lucky of what I've been given through the sport. Yeah, training at Camberley, and then I decided to make the big move to go to the National Training Centre in Walsall. So that meant when I was 17, 18, I moved away from home and was in some like uni blocks, like uni accommodation, but for judo. Yeah, so that's just like the background.
Mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Give me some, what irritates you about it?
So when it was the Youth Olympics, everyone was saying, oh, by the way, they check your social media. And obviously, like, I'm a young girl, like, you know, you're going out with your friends still and stuff. And so I made sure that I put all my accounts on private because I don't know, like, you don't want anything to like make you look bad. And I'm a young girl, like, I know what life's about now, but like back then, like, I was clueless. Like, I was just living my best life. And I put everything on private. And then, you know, got to Youth Olympics. They put my Twitter up on this PowerPoint. Like, they're going through like, what's a good athlete, what's a bad athlete. All of a sudden, my Twitter's popped up with my like profile picture. This is a good example of someone being private, like, meaning like people from the outside can't look at all your stuff.
Yeah.
So mine was a good example, but I literally, like, that was like a panic. That was like oh, let me put all my stuff on private just so I don't get in trouble. Not that I had anything bad on there.
Yeah.
But I would say that because when I then joined the National Centre, I was going to a judo competition, and I actually had like my first like girls' holiday with like my girls from back home, and I posted a picture of me on like a quad bike, like posing with a champagne bottle, and I got in a lot of trouble for that. Like, you know, you're a role model, but I was young, like I was 18. I know it's not that young, but like
it's what you expect 18-year-olds to do, I
exactly.
guess, right?
So I wouldn't say that I had like, yeah, that's one thing that really like. I was just like, you know, I was innocent. Like, I wasn't doing anything bad.
Deliberately.
Yeah, so even now, like, I make sure, you know, I have to be careful what I put, especially the older I've got. I do master classes now for, like, clubs, which I love. And I know that all them kids, like, look at my stuff, which is kind of why I went down the route of, like, when I did my injury, that's why I did a bit of YouTube videoing, because I thought, you know, people can get the real me, and I want young kids to see that side of things as well. So that's one thing that irritates me. Another thing is, like, judo's a weight-making sport, and when I was young, I didn't know how to make weight. Like, and you see a lot of girls now, like, with, like, minor eating disorders. They probably don't know it, but the amount of people that you see at weigh-in, and they are trimmed down. I don't know if you've seen, like, videos of, like, MMA players weighing in, and they're, like
skeletons.
Yeah, and they're, like, passing out and stuff, and that's like judo, but obviously like judo's not as big as like other sports, so you don't see that side of it. But I would definitely say, like, you know, if you're young, if you're not getting paid to do the sport, if you're not doing it for your country, don't cut loads of weight to make the sport, because you don't perform well either. Like, that's just one thing that irritates me, is seeing young girls cut weight. Like, I've heard stories about, you share rooms when you go abroad at competitions, and like girls being sick down the toilet, like making themselves sick, and it's sad to hear, really. So that's one thing that kind of annoys me.
What's the story about the Olympics?
The Olympics. So basically, obviously the Tokyo Games was postponed, wasn't it? Like, because of Corona.
Which year was this again? This was
2021 is when the Games happened, but 2020 was lockdown, I think.
Yeah.
And when we come back to the centre, like, Corona tests every day. Everyone was a bit like, if someone had Corona, you weren't allowed in for a week. So I do feel bad for the guys, because leading up to the Games, it was really hard. And then we went to get some like jabs. I don't know when the jabs were about a thing. Got the jabs, and one of the girls that actually medalled at the Games, she got Corona before flying out. But luckily, she got a negative before flying out.
Okay.
Anyway, I was on her flight. And so we had to isolate, And I used to get really bad tonsillitis, so I actually got them removed through British Judo because I got tonsillitis. So they said I had all the kit, I had my flights booked, like I was ready to be a training partner for the girls, and because I had tonsillitis, they said like you gotta isolate out there as soon as you land. If they see your throat, because my throat was just fucked, they were like, yeah, you're gonna have to go in a hotel. So I didn't go, and luckily the girl that went and medalled, which was Chelsea Giles, but they just said like, we need to sort this out, because if that was your games, imagine if I missed the games, like if that was for me. So yeah, I'm just never lucky, really. I'm just never lucky.
Or because of your tonsils.
All because of my tonsils, yeah. But I
now
want
that
to...
you removed them now, so it's calm.
they're
You've got
gone.
no issue. You know what I mean?
Honestly, life's amazing without tonsils.
Bring them up next Olympic Games, you know what I mean?
But no, I'm hoping to go to 2024 for the girls, because obviously, like, back then I would have wanted to go, but because of the setbacks, I can't go. So I'm hoping to go 2024 with the girls. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Get all the kit, go out there, because I want to experience it before my own games, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like, that would, like, who wouldn't want that?
That's the mindset you want.
Yeah, like
definitely.
who wouldn't want to like experience that before going?
We always talk about manifesting things as well. And that's pretty
100%.
much that's what you want to do. You want to
I
actually
need
just
to.
set it in stone. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do believe everything happens for a reason. Like, that was my
100%.
first ever tattoo, and yeah, I really believe that. But I don't know why everything bad's happened to me so far, but I know that there is a reason in the future.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Horror story.
Definitely.
Breaking legs.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
No.
Go on.
Definitely snapping both my ACLs. Like, that's just horrible. It's just like in a randori session, and then like you just hear your knee pop, and then like you're like, okay, it's fine, and you go to walk on it again, and then your knee just gives away, and that giving away feeling of your knee, I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but it's the worst pain. And then I would say that because I didn't know what to expect. Like, when I did it, I like went straight on TikTok and like searched like ACL recovery, and it was all like these American girls, like American soccer girls, and they would do like day in the lives and like how to recover from it, and that really helped me. I feel like when you see someone else go through something, it sounds really horrible, but say you both had a bad story, it makes you feel better. I feel like, for me.
That's realistic though, isn't it?
Yeah, you know when someone else has gone through what you feel, and then you just don't feel alone. So that, and then I come back, the recovery from an ACL is disgusting. Like, not as bad as like obviously like a knee replacement or something, but I was bedbound for a week, and then I come back, went back on the mat, and my other one snapped. But they said it's common in girls. I just think I'm unlucky, but...
So, just for anyone who doesn't know what the ACL thing is, doesn't know anything about ACL. Yeah. To simplify it, what is it? What happens? Like...
Okay, so like in your knee, you have like a cartilage, which is like your meniscus, and you have like major ligaments that, you know, footballers when they twist and turn, like, and then your meniscus is your like shock absorber in the car, and then the other ligaments are just like what stables your knee basically. Yeah. And if that snaps, then your knee's just like given away because it hasn't got that protection. There's like MCL, ACL, PCL, LCL.
I thought there was just an ACL.
I just thought that was an ACL.
Oh, really? No. There's like others. There's like, well, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but there is ACL, MCL, there's a PCL, and I'm sure there's an LCL. If I've made that up, I've made that up. But there are definitely them.
Jesus.
There's an ABCD as well.
Yeah. So that snapped, and how they repair it is they take your hamstring.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Go on.
My scars are horrible. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
No.
Like, I've got like matching scars now. So they take your hamstring, or they can take like your patella or something. But I've had hamstring graft, and they wrap it round to make a new ligament.
Wait, or your patella?
Yeah, or your patella.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, and they just make a new ligament from it.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That sounds like torture.
What, they just borrow a bit and then just move it?
Yeah, because you've got loads. And now when when you're rolling, like before a session or after a session, it's like a pothole.
Oh my
God. Like when I roll, it's like a It just goes.
At least you got your shock absorber.
So yeah, that was when it goes there. You hear it pop, and then the girl that was fighting me was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "No, don't panic. Like it's fine." But the second time when I did it, I did like have a mental breakdown on the mat.
Yeah,
I was just like
so frustrated because you've already been through it.
I shouted at my physio. I was like, "It's your fault. I told you my knee was sore." But it's not anyone's fault. It's just it happens. It's martial arts. Like it's a fighting sport. People are going to get injured. I just never knew. Like when I was growing up, I had no injuries. Like my dad always said, like I don't know how this has happened. I think it's just getting old. But
so,
yeah.
Now that you've done both knees,
yeah.
Does that mean that could never happen again, or does it mean you're more prone to happening again? So
you're not prone. They say it's stronger now
because you've already.
Yeah, and because that hamstring that's replaced that ligament is solid.
Right. Okay.
It's solid, and the woman that does it works for British Judo. This surgeon, she's sick.
Yeah.
She's done both my knees. Like she's like really good. When I went to hospital, like when you say her name, people are like, "Oh, Jo Banks is doing your thing."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Oh, people come worldwide for her, and I'm like, oh wow. Well, why did my other one stop there?
I bet that makes you feel a bit more secure, though.
Yeah, we're
like,
really
knowing
lucky.
That she's well known, she knows her shit. You know what I mean?
The only thing is that I did my ACL, and then I did my meniscus, which was like the shock absorber.
Yeah.
I don't remember that going really. I think I just got thrown. And it just like, when I stood up, I couldn't straighten my knee. My knees are like fucked. Like for a 25-year-old girl, like I don't know.
So you needed her.
But at the same time, even though you like you say for a 25-year-old, but you have done a lot with your knees.
I have.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I have. If you think back the timeline, I've done so much in that time.
Because there's people, let's say, what get to 30, what have these problems, but they've never done anything that what you've done. So
yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
That's true. I've never thought of it like that.
There's people what have never done any sport, but then the cartilages are gone in.
Yeah.
So
and like and with that, like I said, I did my knee today. Obviously, let's hope I don't. I did my knee today. I could get surgery in 2 weeks.
That's it.
Yeah, like the support is good. Benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Judo benefits.
I don't know if you're gonna ask this question, but I'm just gonna take it now.
Go on.
So basically, obviously, do you know you've done one knee, then you went. Obviously, you fucked up your next knee.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that affected your mental health?
100%. 100%. Like, I don't even know where to start with it, because obviously all I've done is judo. Like how I started this, like all I've done is judo. I'm passionate for it. Like I love it. When I did my first one, I kind of like accepted it because I thought everyone at the centre, everyone's done their ACL. Like I'm not the only one. But then to do another one so soon, everyone was like, fuck, like you've had a year out. An ACL injury is a year out, 9 to 12 months. A lot of people come back at 9. Like I know a lot of BJJ girls like come back really soon, but it's so common to like obviously do everyone. Yeah, I wouldn't say I got any like help from it. Like I didn't go to like any psychologists or anything because I've done that in the past. But for me, like I just take all my emotions out with my friends and they really help me. I know that sounds bad, but they don't mind being my support system.
No, that's good.
It's what a sort of friend you need,
what
right?
you
You know
want.
what I mean?
I did say like, do you want to see a psychologist about this? And I was like, no, like it's just not for me personally. I'd rather someone who understands the sport, understands how I'm feeling. But I would say, yeah, it's just like I come into training, everyone's like, I don't know how you're still going. I don't know how I'm still going either, babe. Like it's just really hard. But it's more mentally than like physically an ACL injury, and I just feel like I don't know, I must be a strong person just to keep going. But I don't know how I'm feeling now about when I next return onto the mat because of these setbacks.
Yeah.
I need to get the confidence back, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did really affect me, yeah.
Training and diet. What's it like?
So, you know when I was saying like girls shouldn't cut weight, really? Oh, no, that's not saying that. Young girls, if you're young, you shouldn't be cutting all this weight because you've still got growing to do. Well, that was me. When I used to fight under 63 kilos, and I was always tall, skinny, like I was a lanky girl. And I was 63, so I was really tall for the weight. And I remember like, I didn't know how to make weight. I had no nutritionist back then. My mum would just make me like they made me really good dinners. So she would just like make it a bit smaller for me, like a smaller portion. I never really used to have breakfast as a child. My nutrition was bad back then. And I used to go to the gym at night. If I was fighting that weekend, I'd be in a sauna on a Wednesday night sweating off. But I'm not fighting until Saturday. And that's bad. Like, you shouldn't be sweating off so early. So I didn't know how to make it then. Whereas now, like, you know, I've got a nutritionist. I know how to look after my body. There's a lot of girls who calorie count, who I train with. They have to cut between like 4 to 5 kilos, I'd say. I don't know if that's me being generous, but yeah, like 4 to 5 kilos. They calorie count, they use nutritionists, and then they sweat off like the day before. Whereas I'm quite lucky, I fight under 78 kilos and I sit at like 80 right now, but that's me being injured for 2 years. When I'm back training, I'm normally like 78 kilo.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky. But then back in the day, like for 70s, I used to cut 4 kilos. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. I would just eat lighter, sweat off the day before. Being at the centre helped me. Yeah. They like taught me kind of how to do it. But I'm a very lucky person, so I don't really have to. Yeah, I don't have to cut as hard as my friends have to, really. So I'm quite lucky.
Have you had any sponsorships with anything that you've done?
With British Judo, we get UK Sport, like the lottery funded things. So like they pay for competitions, camps, everything. Obviously, I've got the support of physios there, S&Cs. Like, honestly, the support there is just crazy. Like, I can just get anything. I have actually had, like, back in the day, like a judo club from my hometown. It was like Yamano Judo Club. They used to give me money, which was really nice.
Yes.
That was just for support. When I first moved up to the National Training Centre, I wasn't actually getting paid to do judo. So I worked part-time. I used to have to make like GoFundMe accounts for they didn't give you all the competitions. If I wanted to do like an extra competition, I wanted to do an extra competition in Canada. So I made like a GoFundMe to help me pay to go there. And the amount of support that you can get, like people, you don't realise the people that support you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but definitely the major one is UK Sport, like that, and Adidas, like they give us all our kits and stuff. So just, from being at the centre, I get all that, really.
What's the future plans and goals? Because I know we've briefly talked about, obviously, the Olympics now.
Yeah. I want my body to, because I need to think of my body in the future. I don't want to be like not being able to like crawl around with my kids in the future.
Yeah.
I would obviously, my goal is to make it to Olympic Games. I would love to. Obviously 2024 is off the card now, but there is still 2028. My only worry is that like I'll be 30 then, or like, and normally for girls, like you retire normally at like 33, like, so I would like to make it 2028. I just hope that my body can cope with the training load on it. Yeah.
Fair enough. My last question is, this could be about anything as well.
Okay.
So if you could give anyone advice on anything in life, what would it be?
My first one would be definitely to listen to your body. Like your body, when I'm training, something's sore. Like I've just learned to listen to my body. If you want to succeed in your sport, you need to be dedicated. Like you need to put everything into it. Consistency. Like I started at such a young age because I still obviously got goals that I want to complete, but I've had such a good career so far anyway, minus setbacks. And that's just through consistency, turning up at training and putting everything into it. If you're not 100% into it, then I don't think you'll get far. I don't know if that's horrible to say.
No, I rate that.
I think you have to put everything into something if you want it.
Yeah, I rate that. Thank you for coming on. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So much.
Where can everyone find you on YouTube and Instagram as well? Like, so I'm going to try and tag it as well below.
It's just my name. It's just Shelley Ludford. And yeah, I think that's just the YouTube as well. Obviously, I don't post that much on there, but I try to keep up to date on it.
So I'll tag it below so everyone can come over.
It's all private though, it's annoying.
It's all private.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's fun.
Bye.